coming up in your future. But generally speaking, you would find, as we read the energy of your society now and translate it into a timeline, that no later than 2050 will many of these principles start making their way into your daily lives.
Okay, that's quite a while.
Not really.
Yeah.
I didn't say you had to wait until then. I said by then, at the outside, many of these principles will be experienced in your daily life.
Great. How can I discover my own life's theme? I've heard you talk about themes.
By acting on your highest excitement to the best of your ability with no insistence on a particular outcome. And whatever challenges you face by doing that are the themes you chose to explore.
I had a feeling you were going to say that.
Well, I guess you're already using the quantum level then.
I had a feeling you were going to say that too. Just kidding. Okay.
Does that help?
Yes. Yes, it does.
Well, thank you.
Thank you as well.
Hey, Bashar.
And to you, good day.
On the 10th of September, I was coming out of the mountains after elk hunting, and up on the skyline was a big ship.
Yes.
I love
What
how
did
you
it
say
look like?
It was round.
Yes. You
and
mean
big.
disc-like or spherical?
Spherical.
All right.
Like it wasn't like a disc, it was just completely round.
A ball.
A ball, yeah.
All right.
And bright.
Yes.
Gold, kind of bronze.
Yeah.
I saw it when I topped out of the mountain, and I drove for about 3 to 5 minutes.
Yes.
And could see it in the sky.
Well, yes, as opposed to on the ground or in the water.
Well, like there was nothing else around. Like,
Oh,
there's,
all right.
Meaning there were no mountains in the way. It was just completely
right.
sitting in the sky.
All right. And so then what happened?
So the amount of information, the feeling state was so overwhelming.
Yes.
A lot of information, a lot of clarity.
Well, that's exciting, yes?
Oh.
Yes? No? Not
Yes.
exciting?
Yes, amazing. Exciting.
Oh, all right, yes.
Maybe the most exciting thing ever in my whole life.
Well, so far.
Yeah, I'm just getting warmed up.
Oh, all right.
So can you share who that was? Whose ship that was? I would love to know that information.
Why would you love to know that?
I knew you would ask me that. I sat here, I was like, if I could answer that question, I wouldn't ask this question, and I could not come up with why. Other than that it is a permission slip to uncover and explore deeper into this next reality.
And the state of being that you experienced while you were observing the craft was also given to you to know the state of being you need to come from when you act in life. Yes?
All I got was you are the light of the world. That was
exactly.
Just over and over and over.
Yes, yes, yes. You are made of light.
Thank you.
And if you match the frequency of that experience and act from that frequency in everything you do, in a sense, will be on the level of the highest frequency of light that you can manifest at this point.
So can you tell me who
I'm working on it. I'm warming up to it.
The other thing that happened was I realized that being human,
yes,
that not everybody sees each other as we relate to ourselves.
Of course
like,
not.
We have these relationships where it's like, I feel like I'm this, and that person's relating to me.
Yes.
Other than that.
As we already said, you're creating your own version of everyone else to suit whatever it is you need to experience in life in one way, shape, or form.
Okay, so my relationship to them was that they knew me as I knew myself to be.
Yes.
Completely, clearly. I wasn't convincing them. I wasn't trying to explain myself. I was just light.
Yes. Yes. And the message, you are the light, was a message that reflects that another version of you in a non-physical energy form was on the ship.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I know, that's why I said it.
Well, yeah. Meaning
it's an Arcturus energy. It's an Arcturus energy.
Okay.
So, how does that sit with you? The Arcturus energy gate is specifically for the purpose of allowing people to remember more of who they truly are on a bigger level. Therefore, it was reminding you that you are made of light, and that literally the version of you on the ship is also literally non-physically made of light. It's a non-physical consciousness. And so is the ship, not actually physical.
So based on my vibratory state at that time, I was able to see that.
Yes, exactly.
In that reality.
Exactly.
When I kind of cleared the mountains and then went through a gate, still sitting there.
As I said, a gate. All the symbols are there.
Yeah, sure. Finally, I had a client with me, and he was on his phone the whole time, and I said to him, "What is that?" And he turned and looked at it, and then said a few cuss words like "what," and then it disappeared.
Yes.
As soon as he saw it, they
Yes.
left.
Well, it wasn't exactly for him.
Yeah, it felt very specific in that
Yes.
moment for me.
Yes. Well, you had a date to meet yourself.
It actually even felt like it had, and I know time is that
Yes,
it all
yes.
is now, but it felt like in my linear timeline from my current experience, from this point of view, that it had been put in place.
Exactly. You put it there. From the other side.
Yeah, that's how it felt. And it actually felt like a reminder.
Yes.
Because something left, like a
It's your giant post-it note in the sky. Remember who you are. Note to self. Does this help?
Yeah.
All right. Anything else? Or will that suffice?
Thank you.
Oh,
Thank
well,
you.
thank you.
Last in
Yes.
California, I got to talk to you and changed my whole relationship to my imagination as myself.
Oh, well, thank you for doing that. And thank you for your enlightening conversation.
Hello, Bashar.
And to you, good day.
Oh, this is exciting.
Oh, all right, yes.
A lot of things in life don't really make sense,
And why should they?
so you can understand them, I'm guessing.
You're guessing? Oh, all right. You know there is a famous quote on your planet about that, yes?
No.
Well, you have a saying on your planet that truth is stranger than fiction? Yes?
Yes.
And one of your famous authors, Mark Twain, Samuel Clemens, said, why shouldn't truth be stranger than fiction? After all, fiction has to make sense. Now, there are levels at which you can understand what may seem to not make sense on one level, but does on another. So if the things that you're experiencing don't seem to make sense on the level you're looking at them at, you need to go to another level to see them. Again, famous quote from your Einstein, a problem cannot be solved from the same level in which the problem was created. You have to go to a higher level to see the solution. So similarly, if things don't make sense, you need to look at them from a higher perspective, and then in most cases, they will start to make sense. But you may need to see them through a different definition, with different eyes. Does that make sense?
Yes.
And so, anything else you want to explore about this? Or is that sufficient for you?
That's good.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Are you positive?
Yes.
Absolutely?
Yes.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Can we have about 15 more minutes?
Can you have
No,
15 minutes?
No, I said we have 15 more
Oh,
minutes.
all right.
So, one name or two?
You may start with one and see where we're at.
All right. So logical, Bashar. It's nice to have logic. Okay, the next name is Jory C.
Hi, Bashar.
And you good day.
It's so great to talk to you again. I spoke with you in June.
Oh, all right.
My first question is, as a child, there was a book series called The Berenstain Bears. And lately, I've seen some buzz on the internet that now the title of the book is The Berenstain Bears.
Yes.
And everywhere people are looking, even at their old books from their childhood,
Yes.
it now says The Berenstain Bears.
Yes.
But about 95% of the people I've spoken with remember them as Berenstain Bears with an
Yes.
E, not an A.
And so?
So, is this an example of a parallel reality?
Yes.
Awesome. Okay.
That was easy.
Yeah, so would you say that the people who grew up with the Berenstain Bears have now merged into the parallel Earth where it was always the Berenstain Bears?
Yes.
Awesome.
And yet you've also maintained the ability to remember the other parallel reality difference.
I love it.
Because you do this all the time, you shift into parallel realities and very often don't remember the differences.
Right. Makes sense.
But in this case, you are using that as it comes from your childhood as a marker to be able to start noticing the differences and be able to see more than one parallel reality simultaneously.
That's what I hope
to know that you are shifting more consciously.
Perfect. Thank you.
If you can bear it.
Okay, my next question.
Yes.
Got a couple in my head here.
We make no apologies. Puns come from your world, and we learn them from you. So
I think we all appreciate them, at least most of us. My next question is, do I go in the brain? Hold on. I notice I don't have the memory like I used to, so I gotta.
neither do we.
Yeah.
We have no memory at all.
Okay, so I'm gonna
We
remember
simply
what I
know
need
what
to
we
know.
need to know when we need to know it.
Okay, well, what do I need to know now? Let's see. One of my questions was, what was the Ark of the Covenant, and who gave Moses the 10 Commandments if they actually occurred?
The Ark is a device that was mostly a communication device, but also could be used to channel energy in a variety of ways for a variety of purposes. It was a communication device between those humans and an extraterrestrial society. The 10 Commandments were not originally 10 commandments. They were guidelines that explain the idea of the relationship between you and creation. For example, they have become misinterpreted through the generations in a variety of ways, through negative and fear-based beliefs and control issues and all sorts of other reasons for the misinterpretations or the misinformation. But as an example, let us say, what you typically refer to as your first commandment, I am the Lord your God, thou shalt not have false gods before me, was originally delivered as the idea of, I am all that is. Anything you may think is a false god isn't, because I am everything and cannot be false. Quite a difference. You understand?
Yes.
So that's the idea that those guidelines were delivered both through the idea of the auspices of telepathic instruction, but also the device was delivered from an extraterrestrial society that people on your planet referred to as angels of God, but they basically were an extraterrestrial society.
So when Moses went up and got the tablets and all of that.
A ship landed on top of the mountain and delivered what needed to be delivered.
Thank you.
But again, there was much misinterpretation because it's coming from a very high dimensional level and being translated or stepped down into physical reality. And in that step down process, there can be automatic distortion and misrepresentation of concepts that come from higher levels if the filters for fear-based beliefs are, shall we say, getting in the way.
That makes perfect sense. Thank you.
Yes.
2 questions after that. One is next year being a year that adds up to 9.
Yes. A cycle of completion. That's why we say that in the fall of 2016, everything starts to change.
Yeah, I was going to ask you if you want to give us any more details on. Okay. And
We recently gave you some signs to watch for.
Okay.
But one thing we would say is, remember that when we tell you these things, it is only a sensing of the energy that exists at the time that we tell you. And sometimes we tell you for the purpose of seeing if you're going to change the energy or not.
I get that.
All right.
I'm going to ask a
So
question.
that's one of the biggest clues we can possibly give you.
Okay, I'm going to ask a question for my son. He was curious if there was ever a time when the dinosaurs and humans were on the Earth together.
Yes, but not humans from your planet.
Ah.
Other beings from other worlds did exist on your planet from time to time alongside the dinosaurs, but they were not humans from your world.
And
unless, of course, you count the fact that in certain ways dinosaurs do still exist, because many of them have become what you now call birds.
right, got that.
So in that sense, the answer is yes. But in the way that you meant it, no. Unless, again, of course, you go by the understanding that everything exists here and now. And therefore, in a parallel reality, dinosaurs exist right now, and so do you.
I get it.
And there are versions of Earth where humans exist alongside dinosaurs, yes. But not this version that you are creating right now as your mass consensus reality.
Okay, I got that answer on the way here.
Well, there you go.
Thank you. Do I have
Anything
time?
else?
Yes. When I had the dream that I met a boy and a girl, was that me meeting my hybrid children?
In this case, yes.
Okay. And I see hearts everywhere in nature. Is that just a reflection of my higher self?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Does this help you?
Absolutely. Thank you. I really appreciate that.
Thank you.
Thank you.
At this timing, we will allow you to go and refresh and nourish yourselves, and we will resume this transmission after your midday nourishment.
Anyway, welcome back, everyone. Hope you enjoyed your lunch and our great environment here. We just love this hotel and we love being in Vegas. So we will. We're right now we're kind of on a pattern. Well, we'll come twice a year in June, at the beginning of June, and in the beginning of November. So just keep that in mind.
All right, everyone have a nice break. All right, welcome back, and goodbye. But it'll say, let us continue the transmission however you will. Please proceed.
Hi, Bashar.
Good day again.
I wanted to ask you another question.
Yes.
I've been seeing, I think, spirits,
Yes.
and I'd like to know more about it.
All right. Well, as we said, when you start expanding your consciousness, when you start exploring these kinds of things, your senses become more sensitized to things that were formerly invisible to you. You start being able to see different kinds of energy than you could see before, different beings that may be all around you all the time that you couldn't see before. The spirit world is really close to the physical world. It's just a difference in vibration, just a difference in frequency of energy. And when your senses begin to expand, you can begin to see into the spirit world, and you can develop this and be able to see and communicate with them just as easily as they are able to see you. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Now, being the age that you are, many of the children on planet Earth now are being born and coming through with more of these abilities. They don't have to unlearn them because you haven't forgotten them. You are being born into and living in a reality that is now more open about these ideas. Many of the adults are exploring these ideas, and so it creates more of an environment and an atmosphere that makes it all right for the children to also retain the ability to have stronger senses, more expanded senses. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Is this answering your question, or is there something else you would like to discuss about the spirits that you are seeing?
Thinking that it solves my question.
All right, you understand that they are just people, but they're in a different state of being, a non-physical state.
Yes.
Yes. And that all of you, in actual fact, are also already in spirit. You, the greater part of you, is in spirit right now. This part of yourself that you consider your physical self to be is just a small part of the great being that you are. Most of you is in spirit. But you are dreaming that you're not in spirit. And the dream you're having that you're not in spirit is what you call the experience of physical life. But it's just a dream that you're having while you're in spirit. You never actually leave the spirit world, the spirit realm. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So this is a physical dream. And the more you become aware that this is a dream, the more awake you can become in the dream, and the more you can allow yourself to consciously create the physical life dream that you prefer. Does that make sense?
Yes.
What excites you in life?
Seeing happy faces and happy energy.
Seeing happy faces and happy energy. When you look in the mirror, are you one of the faces that's happy?
Yes.
Oh, all right. It's fun to be happy. Do you know that you never have to be anything but happy?